Hey everybody, welcome to the chair with James. I'm gonna do my Week 15 NFL picks really quick. Starting off with the Thursday night football game with the Chiefs and the Chargers, Southern California. Um, I think it all goes down to if Austin Eckler plays for the Chargers. That would be interesting to see. He's questionable right now. Game time decision with the ankle injury. Um, both teams uh, really good. Chargers one game back of first place Chiefs. I can see the Chiefs winning, but don't be surprised if Chargers really do uh, win tonight. But again, I think it's all on Eckler. But Justin Herbert is becoming awesome for the Chargers. Saturday action. So we have two games on Saturday. First, you got the Raiders and the Browns. Of course, I'll have more on the Raider preview coming up later on uh, Thursday night or Friday night. Uh, Raiders really underplaying their fall after the bye week, just like the last two seasons is happening, and it's a tremendous fall. Meanwhile, you got the Browns that are just trying to stay in the playoff race and stay in everything. Um, have been hit with COVID pretty bad. Uh, Baker Mayfield will be out. David Njoku, the tight end, is out. Uh, Jadeveon Clowney is questionable. So it'll be interesting to see who the Browns will play. This could be a game the Raiders could get. And again, I'll have more coming up soon on the channels and the platforms you'll see me on here. The next game, though, on Saturday, you have the Patriots and the Colts. Now, this one is looking really good because Patriots and Colts both are really, really good teams. Both are coming off. Well, Patriots are coming off the bye week, and they were on a roll. They beat the Bills for first place for now, and ran the ball very well against Buffalo in the strong wins. The Colts coming alive as of late. Their defense doing a great job. You got Jonathan Taylor, who's probably the best running back this year, along with James Conner. Uh, can do everything. So it'd be interesting to see how he does against that New England defense. This one in Indy, I guess I'll go with New England for now, but I could really go either way. Next game, start the Sunday morning lineup. You got the Titans at the Steelers. Ben is questionable. T.J. Watt is questionable, and Joe Hayden is questionable for the Steelers. So that's interesting. Tennessee, they're trying to figure out the running game. Uh, Julio Jones did come back, but it looked like he got injured again. I think I'll go with the Steelers with that. Unless Tennessee's defense comes alive, but we'll see if that happens. Next game is the Panthers and Bills in New York State. Panthers still going to be without Sam Darnold for 2 more weeks if they decide to bring him back and start. It's funny, they have the XFL quarterback, I think, I forget the name again, but and Cam Newton both seem to be playing. Cam gets benched, the other guy comes in, Cam goes back in. It's just a mess, and They'll be without McCaffrey, I think, for the rest of the season. Why play? That just wouldn't make sense. The Bills really need this game. Buffalo, again, struggling. Lost first place now and in a wild card spot. They have a great chance to make the playoffs. I think it was like 86, 88%, whatever it is. But divisional wise, it might go to the Patriots. Anyway, I would think the Bills get back on track at home against the Panthers. Josh Allen really needs it. Diggs. Running game needs to be better. Singletary and Moss got to get going there. Next game is a divisional one. You got Washington and Philadelphia in Pennsylvania. Both teams trying to... Washington wasn't a wild card, and then Philadelphia's trying to get in. You got Washington, who's struggling a little bit on defense. Philadelphia coming alive as of late. Does help when you play the Jets, but Gardner Minshew did well. Washington is kind of struck by COVID there. Kyle Allen, who had to come in for Heineke, got it. So Heineke is basically that's it. He's going to have to pull off another gem for Washington to win. That would be a real close game there. Divisional game, too. So, almost anything can happen in that. Next game, another divisional game, but it's between two bad ones. In the AFC South, you got Houston at Jacksonville. Of course, the news coming down on Wednesday. Urban Meyer was fired by the Jags after a string of incidents, and then one where he kicked the former kicker in the leg, Josh Lambo, during or just before a exhibition game in August. And I'm just wondering if it'll be, if it's caught on film. We'll have to see if that comes out. But you heard the reports all year long, and from the beginning, Urban Meyer would berate his coaches, berate his players. He made one player leave. And fortunately, he came back, but still. He's in that list now of coaches that went to college to the NFL that failed. And it's a long list, too. Spurrier, Nick Saban, and Bobby Petrino, Lou Holtz. There's so many that just did not fit in well, and they tried their college ways in the pros, and it just doesn't work like that. So it's a mess. So we'll see how Jacksonville responds. I think they get the third win. I think Jacksonville does. We'll see how Houston runs the ball. But just a breath of fresh air, I think, for the Jaguars. So much promise, so much hope. That's out the window. And just like that now, you're hoping for a fresh new start and some life. Especially from Trevor Lawrence. I mean, yes, some of his interceptions isn't his fault, but some really are. When you throw it right to the linebackers, whatever the case is, that's your fault. Cowboys head to Jersey to play the Giants. Another divisional game in this one. The Cowboys Hope to have Tony Pollard back to back up Ezekiel Elliott. You got all the receivers back for Dallas. You got the Giants, who may be still without Daniel Jones. Mike Glennon is starting for the Giants, and they lost to the Chargers pretty bad last week. They did put up some points late. I think Cowboys win that game. The Cardinals and Lions play in Detroit. The Cardinals, of course, losing on Monday night to the LA Rams, and are just a game ahead of LA now in the division. Detroit just trying to play the season out. Heard a stat yesterday that Jared Goff has thrown for or completed the most 2-point conversions, but has lost the most fumbles this season, and that could be a credited to his offensive line for sure. What you gonna do? It's tough. Kyler Murray, that was really unfortunate to see how that game ended with LA, because they could have had a shot if they spiked the ball, but he didn't really let his receivers know. They just went to go, run these weird routes that went nowhere, and Kyler went out by himself, and he got sacked by Aaron Donald, and that was the game. It's a weird way to end that one. Anyway, next divisional game is the Jets at the Dolphins in Miami. I don't know who's going to start for the Jets, but we'll see if Zach Wilson does against that Miami defense. Special teams has been great, and their offense, Tua, has been proving me wrong this last 4 or 5 games. He's been playing well, and Waddle's been eating well, and the hope is that somehow they can make the playoffs, but we'll see. Next game, we got Cincinnati at Denver. Cincinnati's got to have this one, and then Denver, now in 3rd place in the West, they're trying to get the wildcard spot as well. We'll see how they do. Obviously, Broncos with heavy hearts played well last week. We'll see if Cincinnati can do something against that Denver defense. It's a tough one. I think Denver wins, but we'll see if the Bengals can stop them. Next game, the Falcons at the Niners, and these two going for the wild card spot. There's still a lot of teams left in it, and the Falcons are one of them. You got Matt Ryan, who's playing well as of late. The Niners won in overtime in Cincinnati. Happy to have Deebo Samuel back. He can win you a game with his speed and his talent. I think the Niners win, but it would be a real close game with the Falcons. Next game in LA, you got the Seahawks at the Rams. This one will be fun, I think. It's always fun with these divisional rivals. Seahawks really need this. LA trying to get first place. Be interesting how the crowd is. The Rams have been ravished by the virus. Remember, they didn't have Jalen Ramsey. They're not going to have Odell Beckham Jr. This game because of that. So Cooper Kupp should have, double on him. And that would be the frustrating thing if Cooper does have a great game, because that would mean Seattle defense is not doing well. So that would be really tough to see if that happens. But I think I'll go with LA on that one. The Packers go to Baltimore to play the Ravens. Packers maybe without Aaron Jones. We'll see how his knee is. And Aaron Rodgers, he's listed as questionable, but I think he's going to play. That toe's been the subject of things as of late. If you think about it, and it's been his fault, Aaron Rodgers this year, where he's made stories about him, with the whole, oh, I want to be traded or I'm playing for the Packers. And then the whole testing positive and coming out and making his comments. And now the toe injury. He's been through a lot, but a lot of it is self uh, predicated on. So, anyway, Ravens. We'll see about Lamar Jackson. He got hurt, but I thought it was a worse injury. But he might be able to play, and we'll see. But the backup did well for Baltimore. But I think the Packers will win that game. The defense really needs to step up for the Packers. Divisional game, you got Sunday Night Football. You got the Saints at the Bucks. Kamara is back, luckily, for the Saints. Hopefully, he'll have a great game and keep the Saints in it. I do think, though, the Bucks win pretty handily over the Saints on Sunday Night Football. Monday night, you got the Vikings at the Bears. Two teams that, stumble and fumble. You really can't predict them. I'll probably go with the Vikings in this game. The hope is, Dalvin Cook's backup, Matheson, will not be able to play with COVID issues. And the Bears, Justin Fields, he hurt his hand in that Sunday night game in Green Bay, in that loss. That just really sucked because with the Bears, it seemed like they should have had that game, but they had to play a whole nother half, and Green Bay knew how to take over. Just growing pains for the Bears. So I think the Vikings win unless they blow it. That's all I think about Week 15. Let me know what you think out there. All right, later.